Palmistry reading of a particular lady. Her age is approximately 38. This is my website. Before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can call me for a palmistry reading. These are my number and my email address. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image and I will try to answer questions out here. There are a few questions that this particular person had. She's aged 38. She wants to know how her future is going to be like for the next few years, like till the age of 48, 38 to 48. That's the approximate we would be talking about. The planetary position, present and future. This is going to get basically covered up in the above question. The Raj Yoga, if any, health and wealth analysis, business analysis, professional analysis, family analysis, children analysis, very important, most favorable time of my life. Even these are going to get basically covered. Longevity analysis, court and litigation issues, if any, support of government, and suggest a remedy, if any, for bright present future, if any. So basically, the things she is basically asking is more to do with money and possessions and how her life is going to be like. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image and we would first take a look at the right hand. The, uh, the first thing that we see on this palm are few lines that are, this is the lifeline, and there are many lines that are moving upward from the lifeline pointing towards the fingers. Upward lines is something like, upward lines is, this is basically where the sky is, and down below is basically the earth. Downward lines are considered to be bad, pointing towards the mount of moon. Upward lines that you see, there are many of these. These are considered to be excellent sign lines to have. These are basically luck lines. Not everyone basically has these kind of lines. Many people are going to be calling, many palmists are going to be saying that the sun line is basically the luck line. I do not agree with that. Sun line, some people call them as the name and fame line. Even that I do not agree that. I would be explaining regarding what I basically consider this sun line to be. So uh, these lines are basically starting somewhere from the approximately from the age of early 30s till late 50s, late 50, 55. So upward lines are considered to be excellent line in terms of how, like, if there's going to be luck or not. So this is a beautiful aspect that we see in this particular hand. Now we take a look at the left hand as well. Now on the left hand, same indications are seen. This is the lifeline, and these are the upward lines that you see. Now these luck can be unlocking of financial resources. These could also means benefits coming from people. It could be government or non-government as well. So it is all kinds of benefits that the person might receive. And unlocking of financial resources mean something like, if we have a land and we are trying to sell it, we are unable to sell the land. But out here, those things are going to get unlocked and the person would be able to use them. It is also luck favoring this particular person from the from an early age till at least till the age of 55. These things are going to be these things are basically seen out here. So it's a beautiful sign to have. Apart from just these luck lines that we see, there are other indications as well. Now the other indications is the uh, people think that only lines would tell everything, but apart from the lines, it is also your hand structure, the feel of the hand, the size of the hand. All these things basically we have to take into account to come to a final conclusion. So the first thing is, how good is the hand structure? By hand structure, we basically mean the bone structure in the fingers and the palm, and the skin covering over this particular palm. So this is this hand appears to be reasonably strong. When we are looking at the hand of a female, they are comparatively weaker compared to male. But we have to take a judgmental view about the hand. Is the hand reasonably strong or not? So we find it is reasonably strong, and it means a hand that is reasonably strong in a female. Those females would be able to face those females would be able to face the society and move ahead in their life. This is what is basically depicted by a strong hand. A strong hand would mean better hold over people, money, and resources. So this is an excellent sign to have stronger hands with even less good lines on them would give better result compared to weaker hands. If imagine if this hand was very weak kind, you can easily distinguish if you keep three, four, five hands out here, you would be able to distinguish which hand appears to be stronger and which hand appears to be very weak. Weak hands are bony hands and hands that are having that don't have any grip. Those are weak hands. Some people tend to shake when they shake hand. They try to shake hand like they try to crush somebody else's palm. They might have a very weak structured hand, but they try to crush other person's hand. So those hands we would not consider them as strong structured hand. By strong structured hand, I just mean the bone structure is should be strong in the fingers and the palm, and the skin covering should be reasonably good. So the padding should be there. So it's a medium or good kind of a hand structured. I would basically categorize them into them. So this is considered to be a beautiful sign to have for success. And the other part regarding the lines is that you would notice that some people say that this moon is getting formed, and they say that they get a very beautiful partner or something like this. In a males, normally males want a beautiful partner. So this is what is their priority. This is a half moon. So I would be talking about the half moon as well. The half moon doesn't necessarily mean that the person would get a beautiful partner, but I'm just explaining to you what basically it means. This is your heart line, and the heart line is curving a little bit out here. So curvature in the heart line makes a person passionate. They display their emotions. If the same line out here was very straight, it would depict the person is not expressive with their emotions. So this is what is basically depicted by these particular lines. Now, now what happens is that if the heartline ends under the mount of Saturn, this is the mount of Saturn. Saturn is basically for money possessions, and this is also the area for outer appearances. For them, outer appearances matter. So for these people, they would try to have a partner who looks good and who is also rich. So because Saturn is for rich, Saturn is for money, possessions, wealth, and Saturn is also for the outer appearances. So their priority when they choose a emotional their partner, their priority is that the person should be rich and the person should basically should have good outer appearances as well and good money as well. So both these things priority is a good sign, and this whole thing is getting a moon like thing is getting formed. So it's considered to be a good sign as far as money, possessions, wealth basically goes. So in that way, it is a good sign. And even for people who want money in their life, in their business, they would normally have their heartline end under the mount of Saturn. So these people are extremely good at managing money. They are also wise because Saturn is for wisdom, wise decisions, and they are also responsible. and they know the ground situations very well because Saturn is all about these particular things that I've mentioned out here. So these things are good. Now we'll just take a look at, she mentioned from 38 to 48, I've already answered. Planetary positions, present and future. This I've answered. Raj Yog, we can't say from the hand if a person has got a Raj Yog or not. But as such, because the hand quality is good, so I would say the yes. Yes, probably when you take a look at the birth chart, it would show those indications that probably she might be having Raj Yog, and she might have been really lucky for herself as well as for her family, her husband as well. Uh, Now she wanted to know regarding family children analysis, most favorable time in the family, longevity, these three, four questions basically I would answer. Favorable time, I've already answered. Family, children, longevity, and court and litigation. All these things I would basically answer now. Uh, so let me just take a look at this. Now, what we have to know is that regarding children, it can't be basically shown clearly on your palm what it might be represented, but in an indirect way, yes, we can try to tell how things are going to be. So this is the headline, and this there's a we don't see a money line in the initial period before the age of 35. Absence of the line doesn't mean that there's no money, but the presence of the line is somewhere after the age of 35. And just on the headline, this is the headline, and the intersection of the head and the headline, this portion, this intersection is age 35. So just after the age of 35 on the headline out here, you would notice an upward kind of a line. Upward lines is considered to be a beautiful line, and what it basically does is that it brings about some amount of success in the person's life. Some things are happening, whatever the person is wanting, those things are basically happening. The other part is when a person is lucky, everything is happening according to what her plan is. Everything is happening, she's getting lots of money, all these things are basically playing out. So there's nothing wrong with these things. And if we use our common sense, what it basically does is that uh, this portion is this portion of the headline is somewhere close to the age of 36, 37. That's the age when this headline is going upward. So upward line means uh, it basically may indicate that some luck is happening, or she's winning something, or her business is increasing, or even the children, even her children basically are doing good in their life. So all these things are basically represented by this upward line. The other way of looking at this branching of the headline, this is basically the branching over of the headline. This means that the person could be a genius. Genius doesn't mean that person knows everything. Genius basically just means that the person is able to see two sides of the coin at the same time. So this is what is basically represented by the headline that is split into two. And branching out. Branching out of the headline means that they are able to see the coin, the two sides of the coin at the same time. So this is why we say genius. Genius doesn't mean that they're into nuclear science or high engineering things. I'm not saying about that, but just simple genius. Uh, the in the initial period, you would notice that there's no money line. It's a very, very dim kind of a line, but absence of the line doesn't mean that there is no money. Probably these upward lines are the things that luck was there even before the age of 35, and from 35 onwards it has been really good, and somewhere close to the age of 44 another money line basically develops. So these are good. As far as her sun line goes, sun line is not so strong out here. This is all happening after the age of 53. It's a comparatively weaker line. If there was a stronger line, I would have surely said that things would be better. But it doesn't. It doesn't. Every person doesn't need to have a sun line in order to be successful. I've already indicated the luck lines in her case. Now longevity. She wants to know about how long she is likely to live. Now, age can be seen not just on the lifeline. This is the lifeline. Lifeline is perfect. it is super perfect. We don't see any crossing over of lines. These kind of trouble lines we don't see on the hand. So that's a positive aspect. She's a person, and this is the area of anger, aggression, fire, the spark within us, and this is the area of the fuel within us. So these are basically positive areas. Why we say positive areas? Because there are very few lines that we see in both these areas. It means that she never ever gets angry over wrong issues, never ever. So her basically her fire is well targeted. This is what is required for success, because lesser lines over the amount of Mars is always indicative of that the person would be able to target their fire. If there are too many crisscrossing kind of lines out here, a grill-like formation, it would mean in other cases where it doesn't show up in this hand, but I'm just explaining, it will mean misguided fire, getting angry over wrong issues. Venus is also good. Venus good means less lines over it. It means that her energies are targeted. She never ever waste her energy. And the Venus is good, well padded. It means she is going to be extremely warm by nature, very welcoming, and such people are able to like have be most a very welcoming guest, and they could be very good. They might have a very good taste and all these kind of things. As far as her question goes regarding support, government support and government officials, we can't say about. Yes, I can say a little bit that the headline is moving from here, so probably yes, because this is the area of government and governance. So yes, we can say he can get support, but as such, I would say these upward lines are good enough lines for even government support or government officials or anybody, not even government, everybody. Suggestions, remedies, if any, for bright present future. I think they should play their cards to the maximum. That's the only thing that is required. It's a good, beautiful looking hand as well. The hands, uh, many people, I, I'm just giving a offhand basically correlation. Uh, uh, I'm just comparing her hand with a, let's take a case of an actress, a very famous actress. That famous actress doesn't have beautiful looking hands, and beautiful looking hands means uh, very thin kind of hands, very bony kind of hands. Those hands do not show grace and beauty, those kind of things, and not necessarily they have them, but these people, they have all these things within them, and real taste, real love, this is what they're. I won't say idealistic. These people are not idealistic, but these people are realistic because of the Hartine ending under the Mount of Saturn. So they basically attract money. So these things are beautiful indications and a beautiful looking hand. And one more question. I just take a look at one or two different hands. Yes, and although it's not going to be anything different that I've spoken about a little bit regarding her health, I would say that the heart line is kind of overlapping out here just under the finger of sun. A little bit care should be taken regarding the eyes and the heart. This is a little bit necessary, and and in the initial period on the money line, this is the before the age of 35, there's a breakout here at the age of 34. So there's some few problems a little bit. He asked about litigation. In this, we can say a little bit that this is the headline and there are few backward kind of lines. So backward lines do indicate that litigation part to some extent. See, this is the area of anger, aggression, fire. Fire is mostly in like lawyers are always in the fiery mode and always fighting. And if the headline moves backward, there are two things which might apply. Anger and aggression can come up in one's mind, or litigation can happen. So all these things are happening somewhere close to and before the age of 35. Maybe it can reach up to 36, 37, but not probably not beyond that. And I think that's it for this particular reading. I hope you liked this particular video. If you like this video, do click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. And one more important thing that I repeat in almost all my videos, people want to know about money, possessions, and wealth. We can come to know money from any particular line or any amount. Heartline, headline, life, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Importance of money line is just 15%. So money line is not the only thing that we look on your hand for money. There are even on the heartline, I've explained in her case why is likely to make more money. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company because company matters the most. Even if a person has got the best of hand and if they have wrong company, the likelihood is that the good aspects of their palm might not apply. And if a person doesn't have a good hand, but these people basically they try to have uh, if they have a bad hand and yet they are in the good company, what's going to happen is that good things are going to get applied to the hand. Thanks for watching this video. Bye and take care. Thanks.